Hi, this is Bill Prater, and welcome to Supercharging Business Success, where our mission is to provide you with timely, provocative, and actionable resources that inspire, promote, and accelerate your quest for business excellence. Today, we're going to talk about the 10 elements investors look for in a capital raise deck presentation. We'll do that in just 7 minutes with Michael Doyle. Now, Michael is the CEO of a company called Brand Iron, where he helps clients effectively forge brands and drive revenue. We brand and position companies to achieve their desired outcome. So we're going to learn a lot about the ultimate end game, which is what I like to call a liquidation event, and how you get yourself set up for that. So, Michael, great to have you here. Tell us, who's your ideal client?
We have 3 different types of clients. I've got number 1 is a startup that's either got capital or has got a network to raise capital. And so they've got an idea, they're committed to their idea and concept, so they're committed to growing their company. Another one are the typical SMBs, or small to medium-sized businesses that are typically $5 to $50 million. And they're trying to get to that next plateau. And then I've got some really large, like whether it be real estate investment firms or some private equity firms or some technology companies that are quote unquote enterprise level. And we work for them on different engagements. So it could be any one of those 3 type of clients.
That would be beautiful. And I know that you have identified a problem that they all share that you solve. And what is that problem, Michael, that you and your team solves for people?
Yeah, typically we work with these companies and we help them to define what we call their brand story and their financial story and put it together in a nice, clear and concise fashion. And you were talking about creating a liquid event, and sometimes it's putting together a capital raise event to raise capital. Sometimes it's putting together what we call management presentations so you could get acquired. And other ones we put together like an investor or analyst presentation where you're reporting on how well your company's performing against their desired goals and objectives, and what are you doing to take that company to the next level. So we really help them gain clarity around this brand story and their financial story, and how to clearly and concisely package that and tell it in a compelling fashion.
So tell us about what's going on in somebody's right brain. What sort of feelings, emotions, what are the things that might be happening to our listeners that would give them a signal, Michael, to reach out and talk to you?
There's several different factors. It's either a desire to either tell a better story where people understand the value proposition and or understand how you're going to get to that next level. And want to have a better idea. It's out there somewhere, but I don't know exactly how to package or tell that story. So we do that a lot. There's another one where you're really honing in on how you're going to develop what we call your marketing and sales process, how you're going to take your product, your service, or an offering to the marketplace, and how do you put that together in a nice, clear, and concise fashion. So there's lots of different ways that we help our clients kind of help them get to, put together and communicate their story in a better fashion.
So, Michael, a lot of our listeners, entrepreneurs, small business owners, they're unfortunately programmed to try to solve every problem by themselves. And so when they try to do that on their own, what are the kind of what I'll call common mistakes do you see over and over again, Michael?
Well, we're talking about like a capital raise deck or management presentation. Most of them put a ton of information. And so we'll get to pitch decks 50, sometimes 100 slides. And, in order to have a really nice, good pitch deck, whether to raise capital or sell your company, you've got to be able to tell a really good story in the first 5, maybe 10 minutes. And so you've got to have in the first 6 to 10 slides a hook that's going to grab either an investor or a potential acquirer of yours. You've got to have a hook that's going to grab their attention, want them to engage, and want them to ask more questions to find out what you're talking about. And so we try to get this overall message in, let's say, 20 to 24 slides or less. And then you can, if you really have a desire to have a ton of content, we could put a bunch of those in the appendix, but we want to tell a nice and tight story that really engages and hooks somebody's interest in the first 5 minutes or so.
That's beautiful. I love the first 5-minute idea. So I know there's a lot of things that you might suggest to our listeners they would do getting ready for this kind of an event in their business lives. But what's one free action that our listeners could take, maybe today, Michael, that would really help them unlock or break through this logjam they have in front of them?
The other idea the other thing we see and other idea I really have is, I would say 95% of the decks we see do a really bad job of telling a nice, tight financial story. And what I mean by that is either one of two things. Either see a bunch of spreadsheets, and unless you're a CFO or a financial analyst, and you're gonna bore the hell out of anybody that you're showing these spreadsheets to. And so you've got to be able to identify, call out, and show what are we trying to represent here? What's the financial story we're trying to tell with these spreadsheets? I try to show no spreadsheets and put together compelling charts or graphs that convey the message we're trying to convey. So that is one of the ones, is telling a really nice, tight financial story. The other one I really want that we see all the time is they don't effectively communicate what they call the financial model. You know, we buy for X, we hold for Y, and over X period of time, we're going to get to this. Or we're a technology company and we're going to get so many subscribers and they're going to stay on for an average life cycle of this, and that's going to spin off X dollars in revenue. And we're going to have an ARR, annualized reoccurring revenue, and which is super attractive. And this is what this wants to look like. And we're going to get higher valuations off of that ARR or this, you know, financial charts and graphs. So having a really nice, tight financial story is critical to the success of any pitch deck.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I liked how you actually gave 3 examples. And I didn't time it, but I'm going to guess that was south of a minute, and you got a lot of information conveyed at the time. So I know you've got a fantastic free gift for our people. So where would they go on your website, Michael, to get their hands on this free gift that you have?
Yeah, you can either go to Brand Iron or you could go to brandiron.net or capraisedeck.com. And at capraisedeck.com, it actually kind of shows you a bunch of different cap raise decks we've done in the past. But you can enter your contact information and download a how-to guide, put together a successful cap raise deck. It'll kind of walk through how to tell a story, how to tell a financial story, the ins and outs of what it really takes to be successful.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you very, very, very much. Now, I told you I'd bring you on my show, ask you 7 questions in 7 minutes. I've consumed a little short of 6 minutes and didn't ask you the 7th because I don't have it. So what is the question that you were expecting me to ask that would provide great value to our audience? So, Michael?
You know, how did I get to learn this? How about, you know,
yeah,
because I'm a branding and marketing guy. People ask me all the time, you're a branding and marketing guy. What did you do? How did you learn to raise capital or put together a capital raise deck? So I years ago sold my company during the .com days, and as a part of an IPO roll-up, and so I had to report to Wall Street for a couple of years. And my job, I didn't know it at the time, but my job turned out to be putting together these analyst presentations and really communicating our value proposition and our financial story, and put it in a nice, tight, clear, and concise fashion. And so I had to live that life for a couple of years. And when I first started doing this, I had no concept about what I was doing from a pitch deck standpoint. I had no concept about performers or financial stories, nothing. But I had learned along the way. And when I was said and done with that company and served my time there, I said, there's a business model here, and we could package this and help other businesses either raise the capital or put together a presentation to get acquired. It could be super valuable. And we've done hundreds of these things now and raised over $5 billion in capital. And I really love it. And it's very rewarding. And it's really cool to see other people succeed.
That's beautiful. I love that story. Learning in the trenches with cuts, bruises, and broken bones is the way to do it.
I got plenty of broken bones and gashing cuts.
No doubt about it. Now, look, everybody, in closing, let's focus on a single fact, and that is businesses do not become extraordinary in a single instant. Instead, they get there as a result of the owner first learning and then applying a proven combination of having a specific growth strategy, executing it with a system of management, and leveraging high performance teams. Now, you'll get that exact roadmap. Just go to getbillsgift.com and enjoy the experience. Thanks for listening. Michael, once again, thanks for sharing your time with us today.
Thank you.